Stick your stomach in.
That's all I'm saying.
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelAndJoy.com is the website. If you set your clock back 4 minutes, it's 7 o'clock. Do the math, 7:04. Hey, we got an awesome show for you today on this wet and rainy Wednesday in ATL, Georgia.
ATL?
Well, we're not really in ATL. We're in Smyrna.
We're not in Smyrna.
Nah, I think this is Smyrna.
No, I don't.
Bet $5. Bet $5.
All right, let's bet.
Where we at, Eddie? Smyrna, thank you very much.
Let
me get that bread, shout it. Hey, got an awesome show for you today. Got some super duper cool people hanging out with us today.
Whoop, whoop.
Really, if the Braves have anything to do with it, this is going to be called the Battery, Georgia, soon. So shout out, yeah, whatever.
That sounds about right.
Hey, let me get that.
Eddie, stay over there.
Hey, today is, you got it for us?
Stay
Yeah,
over there.
I need my little 5.
You already got your 5. You actually owe me 5.
When I owe you, you know what? I almost fell into the joy zone and got totally off track like I am right now.
Good morning.
But we got an awesome show for you today. Got some super duper cool people hanging out with us today and a whole bunch of people to talk about today. As a matter of fact, quick question. What's the first thing you think about when you wake up in the morning?
Getting back in the bed.
Usually determines how your day is going to go. I'll tell you why. A new research has talked about that. Also, we've been talking about since today is Wednesday. L&B Tax Services in the building. We're talking about saving money. I got some super duper cool tips on how to save some money. You heard me? Also, when you get away from the police and then you brag about it on social media, guess what the police gonna do? They're gonna come find you. Yep, I'll tell you what happened to this young lady named Kayla. What happened to her? You heard about that story? Oh, I thought you were laughing because you heard that story. Who else got locked up? Some other people got locked up, college dropout, all that good stuff. And don't forget that we will play some George Lunch on this day, National Day, birthdays and shout outs. And like I mentioned, today's show is being brought to you by Joubert and L&B Tax Service. You can check them out, lbtaxservice.com. We'll come back. We're going to tell you who's on the show today. We're going to tell you who's on the show tomorrow and Friday and Saturday and Sunday and all that good stuff.
You just opened my mic up just now?
It's Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelAndJoy.com. Power 108.9. Shout it.
I'm watching you.
That's what she said.
You're right. Yeah, right. I don't believe you. You need
what up,
more
brother?
people.
What's going on? How are you? Good
awesome,
morning,
man. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
It's Keeyen.
Keeyen Martin.
You said Ryan?
Martin.
Oh, okay, Martin. Yeah, that's what I said. I said the wrong thing.
There we go. I was like, why is it not finding y'all's Facebook thing? I found it now. Come on.
Oh,
Girl, I'm on my way.
Hey.
sometimes if you hadn't liked it,
I did though.
Oh,
I'm real.
I was like, oh. Is that shade for all the people that didn't like our page?
Well, I mean, no, not intentional, but it's like I'm just one of them. Hey, you know, some people they be like trying to perpetrate. Okay, so Michael Enjoy and Michael Enjoy hashtags.
Thank you. And we're going to tag you on the YouTube and our Facebook as well too.
Okay.
Yo, this is Michael McFadden. Don't forget to follow the show, Michael and Joy, on everything. Michael and Joy. That's J-O-I, by the way. Michael and Joy.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning, black people. What's going on?
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Hey, Coach Adams.
Let's get you some so much.
The new American dream.
I was gonna say,
I just downloaded it. No,
A toast to my family in life. Do that.
no, I got the Carter one.
is this
Finally.
Brian? You're calling? You said you were downstairs.
And Fugitive.
Oh, I thought you had somebody coming.
Yes,
That didn't even sound like you.
keeper.
Minutes away.
Yes, I am. And I'm my brother's keeper. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. This is the fruit of our hard work. The belief in the entrepreneurial spirit. Michael Jordan. MichaelAndJoy.com.
Yeah.
Huh?
Even though I'm caramel, but why you gonna put that on when you disrespect the light skinned brother?
Hey, he ain't disrespecting right there. They were cool right there in that scene.
At that point?
Yeah.
At that point.
That particular scene only.
And I only know scenes of that movie. I don't know the actual.
Yeah, they were cool right there. It wasn't until they got to court. I'm not the mastermind. The mastermind is the young, educated brother from the bank, Keeyen Akbar. He is the kingpin. Snitched all on Christopher Williams. In a courtroom, Christopher Williams was like, hold on, the police can't grab the money. He was like, hold on, what?
I don't even get to say nothing.
Right.
Y'all just gonna believe it?
Just gonna take him to jail. Y'all ain't got no evidence or nothing. Lord have mercy.
Where they do that at?
In New Jack City. Hey, Michael and Joy in the morning.
Yes,
MichaelAndJoy.com. I got an awesome show for you today. Today's show is being brought to you by Brian and Joubert, L&B Tax Service in the building. Check out the website, lbtaxservice.com. Brian Joubert is going to be hanging out with us. We got a couple of events that are coming up here soon. We'll talk about that. Also, we got, who else we got? We got a chef coming in the building too, right? No, somebody, she got some food?
Dr. Flavor Spices.
Yeah, Dr. Flavor Spices. Yes, that's, is that Dr. Tremaine?
Yes,
Tremaine?
it is.
It's Spices, yeah.
So I'm say AKA.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm gonna pronounce that last
Dr.
name.
Tremaine.
But not only is she a doctor, she's a pharmacist and she's an entrepreneur. So we're gonna be talking about her amazing spices,
Shout
all
out to you
natural,
for reading the email.
gluten free, sugar free. She got all kind of stuff. We're gonna talk about her.
Semi-vegan?
Angel the Star. Nah, not semi-vegan,
About that.
brother. Angel the Star. Is she coming in or is she
Yes.
calling in?
No, she is coming in.
Okay,
She's,
good, 'cause
just
yesterday-
caught in a little bit of traffic with this rain.
Okay, yeah, because yesterday was a little sticky
I
with.
was gonna say we do have one call in.
What you was gonna say?
That we have one call in. Shout out to Miss Mia.
Hey, WTVD, it's a TV station up in North Kakalaki. They reported that the truck of a 49-year-old was driving through North Kakalaki, and obviously they pulled the truck over. Well, guess what they found when they opened up that truck? 120 gallons of liquid meth.
Wow.
Which could be converted into over 454 kilos of crystal meth with an estimated value.
Street value.
Can you just put a number on there real quick? Just think of
don't
it,
know.
454 kilos, aka 120 gallons of liquid meth. Guess how much that
We
going
in
on the
the
streets?
millions?
20 mil.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say 500 million.
20 mil.
You were close. $91 million.
I was close.
Wow. $91 million worth of crystal meth?
Oh my God.
Just imagine the trucks that got away though.
How you know them got away?
They did, I'm sure. That was the bait truck. They was like, hey, Julio, you gonna go to
Well,
jail
hold
for
on,
it.
hold on. Why they gotta be Julio?
Well, his first name is Raul, so I'm sure it's a Julio somewhere in his name. Him and his
Or
partner.
his partner.
And his partner name was Aquilo Perez. So there was a Julio somewhere in the
Shout out
mix.
to Selena.
Too soon, dude.
No, it's been a while.
$91 million street value, man. Crystal meth
Wow.
is taking over.
Well, you know, that's what she was over here talking about. She's talking about opioids
Doc,
and
yeah.
the pills and all the other drugs that are taking over. She's like, ain't nobody messing with weed no more.
Right.
Y'all can keep your little weed money.
Dr. Sonali, that's what she was talking about.
A little $35 fine.
That's some
Come over here.
It is. Trust and know that if it was $35 on the floor, I would push all of y'all over to get to it. I just want you to know that.
You get pulled over by APD, you got 50 pounds of weed in your car. They like,
Never mind.
man, just give me that.
I was gonna say, you just fix the light.
Yeah, fix your tail light.
Fix your tail light.
Fix your tail light. But roll up with some meth though, Lord have mercy. They are being held on a $3 million bond down in what was that, Harnett County, where they were arrested at. But you know, I'm sure
They
that
don't got a county.
no, not that Harnett.
Oh.
I'm sure that the sheriffs, you know how they got a picture, how they take a picture with all the dope.
Yeah.
They be standing by with the dope, looking all serious,
yeah,
like.
yeah. Like some from Narcos.
And you know how it is. If I would have got it, right here the story reported 120 gallons of crystal meth. By the time it got to the station, man, we found 5 gallons of meth, man.
Everybody with their pickup truck. Hold on. on, let me get. Okay, one last try. Come on.
Hold on, did I say 5 gallons, man? They only had a gallon, man. It was just a gallon of
About to say, no, just stick with 5. Now you're getting greedy.
Yeah, I know, right? Nino Brown.
pocket
Nino
change.
Brown. Talking about some pocket change. I'd have been right down to L&B tax service. Hey, yo, Brian, I came up on some money, right?
Right, about that. So what I gotta do? How many people name I gotta put in there?
Hey, when we
Brian
come back.
don't do business like that. Don't even do that, Mike.
Brian Joubert is in the building. Today's show is being brought to you by our guy, Brian is Joubert, L&B Tax Service in the building. And also, we're going to talk to a new R&B artist that we just meet for the first time. I'm sure we're going to get a chance to have several conversations, especially when he do his Grammy speech.
He said he was going to sing for us.
Oh, okay. But I just want to make sure when he win that Grammy or that Billboard Award or that BET Award, whatever one, he'll say, man, thank you to Michael and Joy. Hey, and we're going to check out that new single, too. He got that new single called Girl, I'm on the Way, shout it. Well, not shout it, but it's called Girl, I'm on the Way. We're going to check out that. Yeah, come true then. Hey, it's Michael and Joy in the morning. Power 108.9. Wake up. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's the sequel to that. I'm on the way back. Recording the track right now.
What up, homie?
How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself,
brother? Jordan.
What's up, man?
How's it going?
Okay.
What's going on?
What's up, brother Charles?
Coach.
Good morning, Miss
Shirley.
Tubman.
Hey, Tasha.
Good morning,
What up,
how you
Amar?
How you doing?
Jordan.
Jordan, nice to meet you.
I thought she was out this week.
Nah, I changed my mind.
But you were, though, right?
I changed my Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to Boston.
To Boston. Back 2-2, right?
Yeah.
Don't make no difference now, right? They play tonight or tomorrow?
They play tonight.
Okay. Got something to do.
Will we stand out in the way if I stand over there? Record? Brothers couldn't get it done last night.
Nope. Someone did, they go to
Good morning,
St.
Mom.
They lost.
Hey,
They
Ray.
did. I can't remember.
What up, godson?
Say Coach State. They went for a
Hey,
minute.
Talisha.
They lost. They went for a little while.
I couldn't stay up. I couldn't make it. I
They
tried.
won for a little while. They were winning for a little while.
It was finally a game to actually watch.
Right. They all won blowouts, right?
You see, what's her name won? The insurance.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all that.
Huh?
I think they're in a runoff, ain't they? So she won second straight up.
Janice won.
Janice lost.
She said Janice wins. So, but she won something. But that's all because of the show.
Exactly. That's the Michael and Joy effect. And then I think old girl's in the runoff though. Sabrina. She running for state senate. 41. The pastor.
Everybody, get your little room.
This one.
We're back. Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelAndJoy.com. Got an awesome show for you today. Got some super duper cool people hanging out with us today. As a matter of fact, today's show is being brought to you by L&B Tax Service. Shout out to our guy, Brian Joubert. Today, which is May 23rd, 2018.
It is National Lucky Penny Day. It's observed each year on the 23rd. See a penny, pick it up. All day long, you'll have good luck. When you are out and about, look on the ground for pennies. It may just be your lucky day.
Shout out to the penny. Shout out to that thing at Kroger where you can put all your coins in.
Yeah, about that. That's
that thing
it.
worked
It
though.
does work. It's gonna take quite a few pennies before you actually. I actually seen people put stuff in there and get like $20 or $30 back.
Oh yeah, I had one. I saved up some change since we moved. I thought I had about $90 worth of change. It was probably about $27, $30, something like
Bless
that.
your heart.
But I used it to buy the groceries. Like I was like, I surprised Tasha. I was like, here, use this right here, Shawty, on the groceries. So They just
Thank you, Daddy.
Yeah. So we were
Sleep
straight.
on the pennies, though. Sleep on the pennies.
No. If I see a penny, I'm definitely picking it up.
Hey,
For sure.
congratulations if you live in the
You
state of
never know.
Georgia. The primaries were yesterday, which means that you get to vote for your Democratic nominees for the upcoming elections in November and your Republican nominees. Congratulations to Stacey Abrams,
Whoop,
the
whoop.
Democratic candidate for governor here in our lovely state of Georgia. She will be, if she beats, Casey Cagle and Brian Kemp are in a runoff, so they're going to have to fight it out to see which one of those guys will be represented as governor on the Republican side. But Stacey Abrams will be the first African-American female. She'll be the first African-American governor in the state of Georgia if she can pull off a victory.
Black
Would you love to
governor
say?
and a black mayor.
Yes, exactly.
Mm.
There you go.
So y'all
Turn
better
up.
watch out.
Hey, Pacers Ferry will be lit over the next 8
Yeah.
years or so, won't it? Right now, Pacers Ferry, it's gonna look tough.
Radio
It's
for real.
gonna look like the West End over there.
Uh-oh. Just
We
bring a
we
Chinese cafeteria and I'll be
like we
straight.
were for Obama, we gonna think they the black governor.
Right.
Y'all enough for black people.
They put that new church's chicken up on Pacers Ferry, boy.
Now what about the China cafeteria?
Oh, you gotta have a
I was
China
gonna say
cafeteria.
just one.
Yeah, just one. Hey, we got Mr. Keeyen. Is it Keeyen?
Yes.
Keeyen
Martin.
is in the show today. Keeyen Martin is hanging out with. Where you from,
Good
Keeyen?
morning. From Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's
Yeah.
check that off.
What
I
up,
said North
C-Lot?
Carolina, so
Yeah,
shout out
what's
to
going
Charlotte.
on?
Tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get down here to Georgia?
Wow. Well, Georgia was like a dream come true for me. Growing up in Charlotte, I always had dreams of coming to Atlanta. Like I went to high school in that heyday when it was like Lil Jon, the East Side Boys, and Young Jock, and Cherish, and artists like that. It was like Atlanta was popping, and so I applied to a few schools. My mom was like, "You can't go too far," so.
So was that far enough?
It
Georgia
was
was-
like, cause
Georgia was
I
okay.
applied to like Berkeley and Morgan State,
Oh.
all these schools are good music programs, and applied, got accepted to Morehouse College.
Nice.
Shout out to Morehouse, and
Yeah.
so got accepted there when I came.
Man, we can tell
It's
you
been,
old.
it's been history, huh?
Yeah.
We can tell you old school.
Right.
You dropped Cherish.
Right.
Man.
I'm about to say
No,
that.
yeah, like
I thought those were those pads.
I value those artists, and it was like real talk. Like when I seen that, when 106 in Park was popping,
Yeah.
and just good music on radio, I was like, man, like I want to experience music in Atlanta.
It's amazing you say that because when you think about the makeup of music in Atlanta back in the late 80s, early 90s, I mean, we had Kilo, we had DJ Toon was DJing, and then all of a sudden the emergence of, Outkast and TLC and Usher, which opened the door for a lot
Changed
of
it
other
all.
artists, Young Bloods, Goody Mob, and you mentioned
Exactly.
Cherish, Sierra. It changed the dynamics of not just music in the South, I think, but just music as a whole because we had our own sound back then.
Exactly. Well, shout out to Outkast. I'm wearing
Damn,
it
I
today.
was
Oh,
gonna
there
sit
you
there
go.
like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, you and your boy
Yeah.
rocking. Where my denim coat at?
It's
I
coming.
feel like I'm not a part of the cool crew.
Now, these coats are actually shout out to my cousin. He couldn't be with us today. He's a visual artist from Charlotte.
Okay.
too.
Wow.
He recently hit me up saying if he could move in with me last year to further his career as a visual artist, and so we just love Atlanta. We got
I
a
was
lot
about to say, bring
of
him
love
on
for
down
Atlanta.
here.
Yeah,
Come
that's what I'm
on.
talking about.
Yeah.
And we're talking about that music scene and the sound of Atlanta music. Was it that much different from Charlotte and Atlanta in music?
It was because it was and it wasn't, but for the most part, it's like Charlotte. It's kind of like a very I'll use a musical term like mid-tempo city.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so naturally, because ATL is basically in our back door, we naturally just soak up the culture, the momentum, all the energy, musically and entertainment wise as Atlanta. So it's like all of the artists here is like we champion are like, oh shoot, like they got this artist. And so a lot of our artists we try to, in many ways still be signature, but we try to really glean from what ATL kind of opened the door with.
Now we are here
I'm so
today.
excited for you.
Yes, you got a new single that you're debuting. Girl, I'm on the way. That's coming from your EP, KM Volume 1. Tell us about
Yes,
the
sir.
EP first.
So the EP is coming soon, and it's basically my first original body of material that's really, really going to have a lot of support behind it. And it's just I'm a young guy but love old school music, so it has a blend of old school and new school vibes, and it's kicking off with "Girl, I'm on the Way."
I'm on the way.
Hey.
Don't quite sound like that.
Tell us about your sound. If you putting your
If you
sound
were to
together,
fuse
and we
people
love,
together.
we love the fact that artists don't have to be in certain categories. I don't have to be a rap artist or an R&B artist. I can be who I want to create my own genre. Kind of like Janelle Monáe. She created her own sexuality. What is she? A homo
She
sapien
added
sexual-
all of them.
Right, all of them together. And the same thing with music now. You can do that. How would you describe your sound?
I will coin it simply as pop soul feel good music.
Pop soul feel good. See what I'm talking about?
Right. That's
Yeah,
the whole.
that's what I'm talking about.
I can imagine going in Best Buy and seeing that section.
Right.
Come on, I
you
like
over
it.
there.
Speak it.
Come on,
It's
Best Buy.
happening.
Even though
It's
Best
coming.
Buy don't sell CDs no more,
Right.
but don't worry. Not Best Buy. Yeah. Remember when we did the story, they announced that. No, I'm just saying they announced. I didn't want him to get overexcited and think he could get his.
Well, the download on
Right,
iTunes.
There you go. Yeah.
Hey, come on, we popping.
Or as you know, you can meet us on Camden Road at Texaco, and I can get you that bootleg copy shout out. Yeah, nah, we ain't gonna bootleg your music. Hey, when we come back, we're gonna get a chance to listen to that single. Social media, how can we follow you?
Very simple. My first and last name at KeeyenMartin on all social media.
Hey, if you did not know, this cherish right here, boy, we're taking that back a little bit. It's Michael Joy in the morning. Power 108.9. Wake up.
But you know that's what the pads is called.
Cherish, yeah. You know about that?
Oh, wait, I'm over
You know about that?
Oh, you know about that?
I was like 3 years old.
That's funny.
He was about 3. He lied. Eddie really
I
is.
was probably about 5 or something. I don't know. I remember listening to that like at karate camp. We was going to they used to take us somewhere every day. So we was at the skate rink, skate town. Shout out to Skate Town.
Who you shouting at?
Shout out to Skate Town. No, I'm saying like what was live. But yeah, Old National. That so that was playing it right here.
Keeyen, is the song on? Can we listen to it online?
Yes.
Okay.
It should be on
Everything.
It's on everything? Okay, we'll find it.
You can search right there.
Apple
You
Music.
can
You
search
heard
right
Apple
there.
Music?
Yeah, search
Yeah,
right
it should
there.
be on Apple Music.
Mom said you want to just send us that joint real quick?
No, it's right here. You just
Okay.
If you're a content creator, social
Hey,
media
turn up!
influencer, or simply love to
Hey.
record
Oh, I didn't know. I'm horrible at even.
Joistik
Like,
is
Good morning. What's going on?
That's extra happy.
content creator.
It was so funny. You were like, you a hitter? You a
Yeah.
hitter in the background?
Stream and
I'm
record.
gonna have to.
I was like, oh, I just heard her voice.
I'm gonna have to turn it up.
And it's lightweight
Just-
and portable.
When you hear
Damn, shout out to Joistik.
it sounds different in the headphones. What's up? It sounds different in the headphones than it does.
Oh, didn't like out loud.
I know, I definitely don't be paying attention. We'll get it though. You ready with Joubert?
Stay ready, so you don't have to get ready.
Right.
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelAndJoy.com is the website. Hey, we're gonna be checking out that new single, Girl, I'm on the Way. By our man Keeyen Martin hanging out with us today. We're gonna talk to him, and of course, today's show is being brought to you by our guy, Brian the Joubert. LB Tax Services in the building. We're gonna holler at Brian. Eddie's in the building, shouting out anybody who.
Well, listen.
Right, yes. Shout out to. I never heard a person just
Shout
talk
out to my second grade teacher.
and just start shouting people out like, all right, Greg Street.
I was about to say, actually, we do that every day on the radio.
Well, I'm talking about not doing radio. Like, you just,
yeah.
why y'all hogging my little Facebook jump?
Oh, because I
Man.
wanted to see it.
Okay, that's fine.
Spirit hit you, you gotta get it out.
You gotta shout out everybody. Hey, I gotta go back to our girls, Cherish, boy. Hold on.
Hey,
Shout out to
hey,
Cherish.
hey, hey.
I want to hear what you call it first. Sean Paul. So hood. Listen how we end this stuff.
About that version.
My favorite part.
Hey, Rob.
Nah, I mean, hey, Michael Jordan in the building.
Hey.
MichaelJordan.com. They still in here jamming. Brian
Gotta
and
say, yeah,
Joubert.
we got 30 seconds.
You remember that? You remember that record there?
Yeah, I
Hey,
do.
shout out to Michael Rotundo. He's a 30-year-old. He spoke to one of my favorite websites, DailyMail.com, after he was ordered out of his house by his parents that live in New York, right? They kicked him out, basically. So the college dropout said that he lived away from home once in his life. He's 30 years old, guys. About 8 years ago, he moved back in with his parents less than 2 years later when he lost his job. Now, during his brief stint living away from home, he became a father. Now, he says his troubles with his parents are connected with him losing custody of his son late last year. Now, after losing custody, he says his parents told him to get a job and get you some insurance. Well, he said he couldn't because he had to compromise. It would compromise his attempt to get the state to pay for his court fee if he got a job and insurance. Well, a few days after his parents had a court hearing to get his visitation of their grandson, Michael says that his parents told him to get the hell out of the house, and the court said, yes, get out of your parents' house. It's your fault.
This is the
30-year-old
with the long hair.
Yeah.
It was funny because I saw the story, and he said it's not like they cook anything. It's not like they wash my clothes.
That was his excuse?
Yeah, he said all they do is really just give me, a roof over my head and somewhere for my transition. The judge was like, boy, if you don't man up.
Get your ass out of here.
They didn't give him enough time.
Right, I ain't had enough time.
They
Get
didn't give
your
him time.
30-year-old ass out of here. Brian Joubert is in the building. L&B Tax Service.
Yeah.
Client Appreciation Weekend is coming up, ain't it?
Sure enough.
Showing up. Taking us back to the 70s.
So, that's like the phone interview yesterday.
Right, that lady yesterday? Exactly.
So, about
Client
that.
Appreciation. I saw some social media stuff yesterday.
Yeah, man. It's our 18th year doing the Client Appreciation Weekend. And it went basically from just a Client Appreciation cookout into a party, into a whole weekend.
Yeah.
Because we get clients come from, different states and cities. So my thing was, give them a whole weekend. If they're going to come to Atlanta, we're going to show them a good time for the whole weekend. But, we understood early on how to retain clients. So my thing is that if I'm going to charge you a good amount to do your taxes and your business stuff, then at least I could pay you back with chicken.
You got that semi-vegan chicken?
Look, I already talked to the dude. He had to go way to Columbus, Georgia to get that.
They do that down in Columbus, Georgia?
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
Semi-vegan.
Brian, how did you start this business, man? For those that may be watching for the first time and wonder how Brian Joubert got this connect with us, how did you start L&B Tax Service?
Well, it's a long story. Which, if you come to the conference on June 30th, I'm gonna get into really the details of the real way it got started. And so I think that's part of the conference is that we're gonna talk about now. People see me now and they see the success now, but they don't realize what I went through when I started in the bedroom, things to that extent. But it was just a matter of, I had businesses before that I wasn't comfortable with the tax person, and I brought my taxes to this cat, and he was showing me some things, and I really, really fell in love with the process as he was showing me about my taxes for my other businesses. And once he asked me, did I want to learn, it was a whole nother ball game. And I was like, that's my calling.
And then you also specialize in working with entrepreneurs, entertainers, actors, and musicians as well.
Yeah.
When you look at that piece of the business where we're seeing more and more young folks get into entrepreneurship and music from the music side, that music business is a tough business to learn. It's a lot different than just making a song in your basement and then recording it on a tape and putting it out. It's different now, ain't it?
Oh, it's very different, And the thing is that we got to get out of the mindset of, it's not all about fame. It's some fortune in there because we don't understand the business of the business. And that's where a lot of people lose out. And that's probably my platform for the last 3-4 years is really teaching people in the industry, athletes, entertainers, singers, you know, the business of the business. Because what happens is at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you basically you broke, you know, because once again you didn't manage the money that you had, and then you didn't understand the tax consequences, you didn't understand how to put things in position, you know. And a perfect example, I got a local rapper, someone just referred to me, and you know, he was like, he told me, he said, B, he said, man, I don't know what I'm doing. He said, I don't, you know, I said, but you know what? I said, I applaud you for coming. He said, I never filed taxes before. And he signed with Universal, and he got 1099s, he got advancements, you know, 150, 50,000.
And never filed?
And never filed. And, you know, and just, he was like, man, I got a child now, I got a woman now, you know, and I'm just not sure. You know, I said, bro, I see it every day. I say, you know what? I said, you got to get away from that keep it 100 thing. And he said, you know, and I say from the standpoint of, you know, wanting to impress your boys.
Right.
I said, no, what's man to me? I said, man to me is saying, no, what, bro? Nah, man, I'm budgeting. I'm managing and not worried about what everybody thinking.
You know what's odd is we see so many stories like that where they don't know how to manage their money. Perfect example, MC Hammer, then you have the TLCs and all of that. Why is this generation still trying to buck the system? Like, why aren't they learning the business of the business?
Well, I don't think nobody's really teaching them that, you know, because a lot of the institutions, organizations that I'm getting into, I always say, well, you know what, can I come in and teach a component of money management, taxes, you know, financial awareness? Because what happens is they so focused on getting the artist and the person out to the highest level of fame that you don't have time for that aspect. And the thing is that the individuals who are in the industry, they don't know, so they don't know the acts. They don't know what the acts. And so you would think that it's common sense if you see the next person fall off because they didn't do it, that you would do so.
LMB Tax Service, Brian, this Joubert is in the building with this. Keeyen, I want to ask you, at what point did you begin to take your music seriously and really saying, okay, I'm going to just make a music. I got a business that I'm starting here.
Well, mine was a little bit different. It was like my sophomore, junior year in high school, because my dad and uncle, they're like songwriters and gospel music. So I kind of grew up in it. I was exposed to a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So it was very easy for me to say, hey, this is my career and I need to not just be talented, but I need to be a well-groomed businessman as well.
Oh, wow.
And that was kind of fortified when I went to Morehouse. I was a music major, but not just for like piano and voice. I really took a lot of music industry classes and stuff. So
you were a student of the business.
Oh yeah. And
wow.
I mean, I just naturally have always been an inquisitive kind of guy, and it's like, okay, well, if I'm making money, I need to know.
So you mean to tell me that my CD is $10 and you getting $8? Hold up, something don't sound right.
And you love to hear stories like that when you have artists that come in and they've already, because you talk about they weren't taught, but they come from a family that knows the business. They come in and they're ready. You know what I'm saying? All you're doing is enhancing what they have.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is the enhancement part. Because even though you had a little something, I get people to say, well, yeah, I did take a business class.
In 74.
I took one too.
But I tell you, that one business class is probably 1% of what you need to know. You know, and the other part of it is book and school learning is nothing close to real world learning. You know, and so you really got to get people that's really out there that can give you stories of past experiences, because the books can only give you so much. But I do applaud anybody that takes the initiative to start learning, because you have to.
Michael and Joy in the morning. Brian is Joubert, LMB Tax Service. LMBTaxService.com is the website. Hangs out with us every Wednesday, like he does. When we come back, we were talking about savings last week. I got some more tips on savings that you can help us out with. And I think we might be eating today, boy. Yup. Let's see if she got some of that semi-vegan food out there. And we're going to get an opportunity to check out her new single. Girl, I'm on the way. Can't wait to hear that record right there. Hey, we got more.
Stage play.
It's my, I know, right?
It makes it sound like a stage play. I'm like, I'm trying to go to see that show.
That needs to be a tag.
I'm
on the way.
You got more
switch seats. Let Doctor right there.
You got some.
We're gonna bring you back up, okay?
Will Tyler Perry play?
But you got some extra tickets.
No, I was saying when it does that, I wanted to live the.
Make sure he washes his hands.
Because there was a lot of people.
Make sure she wash her hands.
Yeah,
We put her right here for right now.
Good morning.
Look.
Come on in. Good morning.
Hey, Dr. Flavor.
Hey, good morning.
Is this yours, Keeyen?
Yes, I'm sorry.
All right.
How are you guys?
Good morning. How are
Thank you for having me. Good morning. Good morning.
Oh, I love your earrings.
I have
those
I was
too.
rocking them all. Like I can't stop rocking them.
Yeah. I love my
You can wear them to the HBCU cookout.
Can you want to sit down? You want to sit down
my,
on the other side? Or just...
Joistik.
I
Yeah,
just
go.
learned.
Yeah.
You can use that clamp right
You can
there.
sit down on the other side, brother. You
Yeah.
can
Oh,
sit
no,
down. We take care of our
broadcasting.
guests.
Yeah, it's September 9th.
Excuse me.
How are you
Good
this
morning.
morning?
How are you?
Good. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I think we gotta pay
So
for
you guys said
it.
next to the Roxy, and I'm like, I have no idea what that means.
Oh, the Coca-Cola building?
Yes, I'm walking around and me and this other man walking around in the ring, like different stuff.
I'm sorry. I
No,
thought
it's okay.
that was.
Yeah, It's all
my
good.
first time.
It's all good.
Girl, I'm on the way.
But there's traffic.
So even though I
That's the
have a
sequel to
season
it.
in line, I do
That's the
talk about
sequel.
other things too.
Yeah.
Just so.
I got
I was
it
gonna
right
say,
here, bro.
yeah. But then you could, like I said, you know how to use it. So you could
No, I
just
don't.
Semi-vegan. We don't talk
oh,
about that.
well, when Eddie comes back,
Okay.
you just clamp your phone. And
Okay.
So whenever you're situated, just let
I
me
got
know.
some goodies for you. Are you
Come
here?
on,
Are
Miss
you part of the
Ashley.
show?
You saying my place?
Brian is our contributor.
Kinda,
He
sorta.
comes every Wednesday.
Okay. I got some good. I gotta make sure I have enough goodies.
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. Keeyen Martin is hanging out with us. That new single, Girl, I'm on the Way. Y'all can't hear the whole thing yet. I'm just giving y'all a taste of it.
Just a little sample.
A taste meaning Dr. Flavor's in the building. Oh, okay then. Oh yeah, I can't wait to hear that record right there. I got a
I'm
verse
gonna
for
say the
that too.
whole thing. No,
Hey Keeyen, if you ever want to do a remix, holla at your boy. I got a hot 16 I can put right there. Hold on, let me finish writing.
About to say, let me just tell you about
What you was
that.
about to say? Hey, Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. Dr. Flavor gonna be hanging out with us today. Also, today's show is being brought to you by L&B Tax Service. Brian Joubert is in the building with us. We always talk money and finances and how to get your life right. All that good stuff. Today, which is the 23rd of May, 2018.
On this day in 1922, daylight saving time was debated in the first debate ever to be heard on radio in Washington, D.C. Wonder what they were debating.
Right. Do we need to keep it? And that's the debate that's coming up now. Do we need to get rid of daylight saving time? It's time for it to go, right? We don't need it no more.
What's the,
Right. What's the purpose? Well, back in the day, the purpose was to save energy. Back during the Depression, and you know, when the oils and during the Depression, that's
why
what it
can't
was
we
used
still
for.
save energy?
No, I'm saying because they use coal
I'm just
back. So that was the whole deal. That's why they invented the daylight saving time during the Depression. But now I think it's outdated. Some states don't do it,
We don't have
Still
coal
in a
anymore.
depression.
huh?
We still in a depression.
About that.
No, I'm not. Yeah, according to this thing right here, it depends on how you wake up. That's what it's all about. But yeah, do we need to let daylight saving time go? And we say saving, not savings, because savings is what you put in the bank. But next year, you see how Joy corrected herself, and she said it very slow. Daylight saving.
No. I didn't correct
time.
myself. I was correcting all the people that say savings.
Dr. Flavor in the building. What up, Doc?
Hey, how are you?
I'm awesome. How are you today?
I'm good.
Okay, Doc. I just need a little help, please.
Yes.
First name.
The last name, Doc. It's Dr. Tremaine. How you pronounce your last name?
Afetorgbor.
Afetorgbor.
So I go by Dr. Trey. Just
Dr.
so
Trey, you go by
any-
Dr. Trey,
Dr.
okay.
Trey is a lot easier for people to remember.
Yes. Tell us about yourself,
It
Dr.
is.
Trey. Where you from?
I'm from New Jersey.
New Jersey, Dirty Jersey, yeah. Life in New Jersey, and you're a doctor, like you're
Doctor
a doctor.
Pharmacy.
You're a doctor of pharmacy. Yes,
Yes.
nice.
Shout out to that HBCU. Which one did you
HBCU
come
Xavier.
University of Louisiana.
Ah, look at that.
Yeah, baby.
You copy them pharmacists, man.
I
She know about Holly Grove, 17 was.
Oh, really?
Oh, y'all about to have a moment here. She just got real excited.
You know what? I just left New Orleans.
Yay!
I was just there this weekend.
Well, congratulations to you, Doc.
I'll
So
say
you're
from
a
Jersey to
pharmacist.
New Orleans.
That's what you do, and now all of a sudden you're an entrepreneur now.
I am, and I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit because my mom, who was in corporate America, also has her own business. And being a pharmacist led me to the spice business.
Right.
Because I wanted to help people. I see people, I've been a pharmacist now going on 14 years, and I see people every day who are sick. And a lot of the things that I see is based on the food that we eat. So I'm like, how can I help people to eat healthier food that tastes really good?
Okay.
So I created my spice line, which is all natural. Yay! No MSG, is lower in salt, and it tastes really, really good. And it has over 6 to 13 herbs and spices in each
nice.
bottle.
Nice.
So you don't have to think about when you're cooking. We bring life to your food.
Yeah, you gotta
Amelia,
have
I'm gonna bring you some,
Congratulations.
baby.
Shout out to you. Now, for those that may be listening, like, where do you start when you put together a spice line? Do you just look in your pantry and just put everything, the cumin and the Miss Dash, and put everything together and say, look, here's what I got?
Well, because I love to cook, I actually had a catering business.
Okay.
So I started to think, my husband's like, why don't you start writing down what you're doing? And I started looking at the spices that I was using. I never could just pull a Laurie's or a Tony Satcharin's and just cook. I had to pull that, plus cut up bell peppers, onions, get cumin, get cilantro, get so many different things. And I'm like, you know what, this is too much work for me. And I love to cook. So I said,
So you already know the one that don't.
Exactly. So that's how I came up with it. And I just went in the lab, which was my kitchen, started tinkering, and I gave it as Christmas gifts, and it was a wrap. Everyone loved it.
Congratulations.
And one thing you talk about is just making small changes to your diet and the way we
Exactly.
eat, because those small changes are the things that could help prevent hypertension or high cholesterol
Exactly.
or even cancer. And sometimes when we're putting some of those other spices in our stuff, we wonder why we got that headache or we got that pain
Exactly.
going down the back of our neck, right?
Exactly, because it's full of sodium. So that's why it was so important for me to make sure that I created a spice line where it was lower in sodium. And living in New Orleans, I was like, I love the food, but it's so salty. And when I left, my cholesterol, the Jersey came out, it's salty. And when I came to came to Atlanta, I noticed my cholesterol was a little bit elevated after living in New Orleans for 6 years. So I was like, okay, no. I said, not happening. I was only 24.
Okay.
So I started doing small changes, eating brown rice, cutting out like the white stuff.
You can say that. That's fine.
It's okay. Nobody in here is white.
Right. And then just learning how to cook some more of those soulful dishes in a healthier way.
Well, shout out.
Yeah, I was gonna
Dr.
say.
Trey in the building with us.
Yeah.
Dr. Flavor in the
Dr.
building.
Flavor
I always
spices.
wondered why after I left Taco Mac eating like a 10-piece lemon pepper all flat, I couldn't get my ring off. My ass was swelling up.
You didn't drink enough water.
Yeah, something.
And it has MSG as well.
No MSG.
Right.
Is that how they say it in the
I'm
food
sorry.
court?
I'm sorry. Why?
No MSG.
Why did you sound like that?
Because it be the little Asian folks that be trying to give you the. You ever walk to the little Asian food court and they hand you the little chicken?
I don't know what. Don't nobody in here know what you're talking
Not
about.
an
I
Asian
do.
food court, but in the food court they hand you the little chicken,
Browns.
right? And you taste it, you be
The
like, oh,
samples,
that's
the
good.
samples,
And then
right.
you get a plate.
We clearly know what you're
Man,
talking about.
It tastes the same way.
You
But
come back.
anyway,
So you come back with your hat on to get another sample.
we don't do that.
I thought you
bro.
were semi-vegan.
Right. Oh, that's that
That is
semi-vegan.
semi.
That's the semi part. Hey, Dr. Flavor is in the building. We're going to talk about some of her spices that she's brought in to hang out with us today. And we're going to get an opportunity to listen to that new single, Girl, I'm on the way. My man Keeyen Martin is hanging out with us, R&B artist. And of course, today's show is being brought to you by Brian the Joubert of L&B Tax Service. When we come back, we got your birthdays and shout outs. We can talk about saving a little money. And we're going to do some spice tasting when we come back. It's Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. Wake up,
Joe,
let's
I'm trying to
go.
get at you
Damn,
now. I'm trying to get you on this
0
conference to push this product, man.
So I got some goodies for you guys. You can take a smell. It's funny that you said lemon pepper. I made a Creole lemon pepper, but there is no fake yellow dye. Here, guys, taking
Can everybody hear that new single, bro?
Okay.
I'm loving it already. Would you say soul?
good.
Pop soul feel good.
Pop, soul, feel good. Pop.
Girl, I'm on the way.
That really does
Somebody-
sound like.
No, it needs to be a tag.
Yeah. This smells good.
So if you
paycheck struggle make ends meet. Right, my thing, money,
It's like a perfect blend of good morning, how are you? It's like a perfect blend of Creole and lemon.
Exactly. It's not too Creole. It's not too spicy.
These are spices.
Hey, how are you? I'm Dr. Trey, Dr. Flavor Spice.
Yeah, come on, Dr. Flavor.
Start small and build up from there.
Smells delicious.
It tastes even more.
I believe.
And I just created a new one. I didn't even bring it. It's like still in the lab.
How long have you been working on the line?
Actually, I
I'm so
started
excited.
year we at 2018.
Hey, Miss Fellas.
2016
My
of
brother,
December.
what up,
So this will be, it was a full year in January.
I'm super excited, guys.
But I created all of them within the first month or two.
Yeah.
Okay. What part of Jersey?
I'm from Linden.
Where's that?
It's you know, well, everybody knows where Newark is. I'm 2 exes from Newark
Oh,
on the
okay.
train.
Up or down?
I'm up.
Oh,
So,
okay,
yeah.
further up. Okay.
Mhm.
Hope y'all.
Okay,
So if you were hop on the train, you'd be Linden, Elizabeth, Newark.
Okay. Hey, Daryl Fletcher.
Everything.
Smellies. Did you smell this?
Sure is.
Now that garlic ginger lime is very delish. I'll give you a card so you know what to put
You
it on.
don't even need to open it. You smell it through the package. What it do? Shout out to Dr. Flavor Spices, drflavorspices.com. FLA.
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. If you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. That
Yes,
means
sir.
you share your birthday with some of these celebrities right here. We're about to shout out. Happy birthday to Drew Carey.
Uh-oh.
Drew Carey turns 60 years old
The
today.
guy with the glasses?
Yep, and he's the host of The Price is Right now. So
Whoop, whoop.
congratulations. Shout out to Drew Carey. Also,
Everybody
Jewel,
adopted that.
or was it Jewel? The little Caucasian sister who
singer?
sing, yeah.
It's Jewel.
It's Jewel. She's 44 years old today.
Wow. Shout out to
Also,
Jewel.
another one-name artist, Maxwell, turns 45 years old today. Also, happy birthday to Dynasty's own. Who remember Dynasty back in the day?
Yeah.
Joan Collins. Believe it or not,
She had that dark hair.
85 years old today.
Wow.
Remember her? Remember Joan Collins and the other girl got into a fight? You remember that? They were fighting.
Fight.
Yes, reality TV started from there, boy.
Clearly. They were like, oh, you see how many views we got?
Right.
I don't think it was all views. Okay.
But happy birthday to Joan Collins, 85, still kicking it, shouty. And also, probably my second favorite boxer of all time, the marvelous Marvin Hagler. He had an epic fight against my favorite boxer of all time, Sugar Ray Leonard, back in the 80s. Marvin Hagler turned 64 years old today. So happy birthday to marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Happy birthday to Miss Jennifer Lester, Kenny Brookins, Keeyen Martin, and to my little cousin, Miss Cat Cat. I love you, Cat Cat.
Aw, happy birthday, Cat Cat. Hey, we got Dr. Flavor hanging out with us today. She is in the building. We got some samples in here that she brought. Tell us about some of the samples that you brought for us today.
So I bought you a few. The original everything is the first one that I created, and it goes on everything.
Okay, which one is that? Do I have that over here?
You have that?
Oh yeah, original everything.
So the original everything was the first one, and that basically can go on everything from your chicken to your seafood to your vegetables. It gives you a nice smoky flavor. Barbecue season is coming up, so you can definitely put the chicken. You can still eat a little ribs here and there.
Okay.
You know, put that on the grill, and it's gonna taste amazing. Tastes really good too if you're a vegan. If you want that meat flavor on your kale, your spinach, your broccoli, asparagus. Oh, it's so yummy.
Then I'm holding this garlic ginger lime. Tell us about this
Now,
one.
garlic ginger lime, that one is something that I absolutely love. My husband's from Ghana, and he eats a lot of ginger. And I love ginger. Ginger is anti-inflammatory. It's very, very good. But the garlic, the ginger, and the lime together, it gives you that good spicy flavor, but it's not too spicy. But it's great on seafood, chicken, vegetables. They all can go on everything, but you can get a little Asian flair from that if you mix it the right way.
Now I have looks like the fan favorite it may be, because you were down and did your college down in Louisiana, this Creole lemon pepper. Tell us about this junk right
the
here.
Creole lemon pepper is a combination of my Creole, which I created first, And then the lemon pepper, because I found like you were talking about earlier, you know, a lot of people like the lemon pepper wings. And I was like, why is it yellow? They use fake dye. They use fake lemon flavor. So I wanted to create something that was more natural and something that would still give you your wings a good flavor, your salmon a good flavor. It's actually, this one is a big popular at a restaurant on the south side.
Okay.
That burger spot, they use it, they love it.
Shut up. On a burger?
Yeah, and on the
Nice.
fries as well. It tastes good on roasted potatoes.
Yes.
So I try to create flavors that were unique and something you wouldn't find just in any store.
Hey, so when we talk about seasoning your food and your meats and things like that, is it best to marinate it? Do you marinate it overnight, or do
What do you do?
marinate it?
Marinate.
Yeah, that's that DC coming out of me. But do you marinate it? Do you let it sit for a while? What's the best way to season your food?
So if you wanted to taste the best, it's always best to marinate, because meat is muscle.
Okay.
Typically, and you have to break down the muscle tissue for it to get inside, for it to taste better. Now, if it's seafood, you can just shake it on top. It doesn't matter. But like if you're dealing with tissue, like
okay.
Meat is
meat,
muscle. That's
right.
That's
So there's a lot of tissues and connective tissue, so you want to break it down. The salt helps to do that.
Okay, yes, you did never see. You learn something new every day on Michael and Joy in the morning. Dr. Flavor hanging out with us. The website drflavorspices.com, and flavor is spelled the correct way, Flava. That's the only way you spell it, right? Flavor in your ear. Dr. Spices is hanging out with us today. When we come back, we're gonna check out that new single. I promise you. What's the name of that new single? Shout it.
Girl, I'm on the way.
Michael and Joy in the morning. Wake up, let's go.
I'm saying it like that forever.
I think you're trying to suck in my pregnant stomach.
Oh yeah. I didn't know it was.
Joy is taking care of me, y'all.
BM, so I don't know where she's at, but
So we're sharing the single what's this? It's
Alright. Doc, can you switch out real quick with Ken?
I
Just want him to introduce the single for us.
Well, where are yours at?
I can't figure out what's going on with my
Right.
Probably if you
About
get on the
that.
Wi-Fi, it makes
Because you know when you move it, it moves the it moves our
I don't be trying to move it. I'm just trying to move the little
the clamp.
clamps.
Where'd Eddie go? Michael.
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelAndJoy.com. I told you, I promised you that we had that new single today. Tell us about that single.
So this single, man, it really, really, really gives me all the feels, as the people say. But it's talking about, you know, when you got a good thing going on, you got to get back to it. Sometimes you got to swallow that pride and say, girl, I'm on the way.
There you go. Tell us about the production of that record, the writing, all that good stuff that goes with it.
So one of my really good brothers, he's also from North Carolina. Shout out to Scotty Glaze. We've been working on a lot of music over the years. And he pretty much, he had a layout of just like chords. And I just really rocked with him. And so I basically took my time because I really wanted the lyrics to be special. And we pretty much, I wrote everything. I do a lot of my own writing. And man, I just wanted it to give you that feeling of, it's like Stevie Wonder meets Justin Timberlake and Bruno, and you know, just that feel good sound, but to, you know, a nice new school vibe.
Well, I tell you what, the new EP is forthcoming. It's called KM Volume 1. This is the first single off that EP called Girl, I'm on the way. Check him out. It's my man, Mr. Martin, Keeyen Martin, to be more specific. It's Michael and Joy in the morning. Wake up.
Not the basketball player.
The perfect picture of forever. Happily, you are mine and I'm yours. The silver lining's a better part of me. Inseparable, we go forevermore. I'll let you go, forever know, forever know. I'll let you go. Easier to see that picture with.
I got it.
Michael and Joy in the morning.
The perfect picture of
Hey, how you doing? Give us 1 second, okay, Chance? All right.
The silver lining, the better part of me. Inseparable, we go forevermore. I'll let you go, forever know, forever know. I'll let
Dr.
you
Flavor,
go.
how many different spices? That's all of them right there? 8. Okay.
to see that picture when you close your eyes. The love we have inside will make it I'm on my way back to
On your website?
All music stores as well.
Be the one to let you go. I love you from my heart and mind. I love you from my soul. Arguments, fussing, and rage. The good and the bad and the thick of it. Take us back where we began. I'll do it all over again, over and over again. It's easier to see the picture when you close your eyes. The love we have inside will make it.
Thanks, bro.
Oh, you want to know what? Go downstairs real quick and see if you see Angel. Because we have a girl on the phone, so she was trying to call. She won't be able to. You have
You
to
want me to do what now?
see if Angel is downstairs. Thank you. Just thought about that shit. When you got that call waiting.
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com.
I love
That
that.
single, Keeyen Martin. Girl, I'm on the way.
Hey.
Here I come. Where can they cop that single at?
Man, every music outlet, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music, iTunes, Tidal, Amazon Prime, you know, everybody fancy. It's everywhere. Please check it out. And on my website at KeeyenMartin.com, KeeyenMartin. It's on the main page. Click it. It'll take you to your favorite music.
Hey, when we come back, we got more. It's Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. Wake up.
Lego. Mia's on.
Thank you, man. Thank
On
you.
Chance Box. She's on.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Chance. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning. How's it going?
What's going on? What's going on? You're on Michael and Joy in the morning. Talk to us.
Hey. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is feeling good and bright today. And they got the Spirit of the Lord in them.
Girl, you sound so excited. What's going on? Talk to us a little bit about what the project that you're working on right now.
Okay, so, the project that I'm working on right now, that God has inspired me to do is called #Positive and Pretty. So basically what that is Positive and Pretty is a social media movement that I started, and it's also a blog. How I created it was basically I would be on Instagram, and I would see a lot of negativity and just things that made me feel down, things that made me feel inadequate, about who I was, what I believed in, how I looked. It's just so many things that I feel like kind of attack my character when I would get on social media sometimes. So after seeing that and just being affected by that, I was inspired to create this hashtag on my page. And I started doing postings like, hey, if you feeling down about whatever it may be, just love yourself, be yourself. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay to share your love for God, or it's okay to just be honest about who you are on social media, and not feel like you have to be anything but who you are. And so that's what it's about. And then I started to do more research, and I found out that the Department of Health and Human Services actually said that more than 2 million people report experiencing depression. 6.3 million of these are teens, and they all have anxiety disorders. And scientists suggest that it's because of social media. Social media is exacerbating the problem.
Wow.
Right. So, I realize that we can't change the significance that social media plays, and I love it. It's amazing. But there is negativity on it, and the only thing that we can do is just try to be a light in the darkness.
Amen.
Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna say, well, Chance, how can we, obviously, I appreciate what you got going on. When we met in Dallas, I loved your spirit then, and I'm super excited about the movement that you have going on because it's definitely necessary. How can we find more information about your positive and pretty movement?
Yes, ma'am. So what you can do is you can go to www.positiveandpretty.org. We have blogs on there, group girls sharing their testimonies about who they are. You can also go to Team Positive and Pretty on Instagram, and then my personal page is Chance the Fox. So that's Chance the Fox on Instagram.com, and I have the blog and our mission, which is positivity, purpose, and passion. I have all of that listed on my page as well. So if you want to get involved, or you have someone that you feel like represents what positive and pretty is, then tell them to give us a follow and share their testimony.
Amen.
Shout out to you,
Shout
Chance.
out to you, Chance.
Congratulations. Michael and Joy in the morning. Hey, if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're struggling to make ends meet, let alone save, you are not alone. Because according to statistics, a lot of people don't save money. And shout out to our very own Brian Joubert is going to help you today because with some factors that may contribute, sometimes impulsive shopping, habit, your job is not paying you enough money. Maybe that's a reason why you don't earn enough. But one of the first things that you have to do is you have to have a mindset for success as it pertains to saving money. And we got a couple of tips for you. For instance, people treat savings like it's an extreme diet. Am I right or wrong? So they either don't do it at all because it seems like a huge mountain to climb, or they never take the first step. Or they just go too hard, too fast, and fall off the bandwagon and say, you know what, this savings thing is underrated, don't they?
Yeah, well, first of all, like you said, it starts with a mindset. You have to have a mind for saving. If your blueprint is not geared towards saving, then you'll never save. And then secondly, people have to be realistic. When I sit down with people who talk about money, I say, do you have enough to save? Because a lot of times we just ain't making enough money. Because when you do 100% of the work and bring home 50% of the money, then you live in a 100% world,
Right.
Then you can't save because you don't have nothing to save. So we have to be real with ourselves first, but it's all about small victories.
Yep.
You got to start small, and that's the thing is when I hear people say, I don't have nothing to save. How you don't have nothing to save, but you didn't went to Starbucks 8 times this month?
Or this week.
I got my $20 allowance on Saturday, right? The last Saturday, and I still have about $14 remaining of that 20 because I don't eat out as much anymore. You know what I'm saying? I stopped here making that little trip to, get that little egg McMuffin or something. And I still got about 14 of them dollars. You know what I'm saying? And that works. That's what it's about, cutting out those little things first.
And that's the thing, small victories. We look at savings and we talk about we want to have $300 at the end of the month. You don't have the leverage to do $300, but maybe you might can do 30.
Right.
And then once you get excited about that 30 is gonna go to 60. 60 is gonna go to 100, and before you know it, you're gonna be cutting back on all the things you thought you couldn't live without.
Now, the best test of what that account looks like is your bank statement. You should get a grip on your bank statement, covering about 3-month period to get a clear, exact, positive picture of what you are spending your money on each and every week. And a lot of us don't do that.
No, and I talk about this with taxes, with business, because, with me now sitting down with so many business owners, I always say you can't manage what you can't see. So how can you say I need to change, I need to do these things if you don't know where it's going, if you don't know what's coming in, if you don't know what's going out? So you have to track it. And I do it from time to time. I'll just sit down and see how much I spend because I know all my money going airport parking and food. That's
honest.
All my money going. I'll be like, God, I spend money at the airport. You're like, you should get Uber. I'm like, I ain't disciplined enough. I got to be there because I'm always running through the airport. But I'm always eating out. I'm a foodie. I love trying stuff. You know, but being a semi-vegan, that costs a little bit more.
You hear that dollar flavor?
So that food costs, you know, that
I don't
semi-vegan
even
food
know how
costs a
that
little
works.
bit more. You know, so I got to spend a little bit. But the thing is, I knew if I had room, I know exactly. I know exactly where to go.
And then the next one, what do you want to use the money for? So now all of a sudden we got people saving money but have no clear picture on why they're saving it and what they need the money for.
And and once again, that goes back when you start changing your mindset, you want to start doing it more, because one thing is you won't have those excuses for why you can't travel and take these trips. Because if you say, no, what, I want to take me at least a trip a year, you can go somewhere for $300 to $400.
Yeah.
So if you start putting an objective out there and say, well, I want to travel, I'm gonna save this money to travel, then you got vision. When we have vision, then we start looking at things differently because we're working toward a goal. But if you just nilly-willy, then you ain't saving nothing.
I was gonna say about that. You gotta have a plan.
Yeah, you have a plan.
And lastly, the advisor suggests managing your money using more than one account. Now, they also suggest that 3 accounts, there's essentials, fund, and savings, and to transfer money between them as needed. If you have more than one goal, then open up another account or alter savings account at another bank. So having multiple accounts, not just having all of your money at S&S loans and savings.
Yeah.
So essential savings, and what was the third account, Michael?
Well, I always say you got to have a play account.
Yes.
You got to have a savings, you got to have an emergency, and you have to have a play account. So you got to have that money when you just want to treat yourself. You know, because what happens is once we start doing those things, we want to do more of it. And if we want to do more of it, we become a little bit more disciplined now and put money aside, because it felt good not to go into the money we needed because we had it already reserved. So have your play account. It's okay.
Did you say a player account? Player.
That too.
That too. That's what I'm talking about.
That
LB
too.
Tax Services owner Brian Joubert is hanging out in the building with us. Look who found the studio. Angel the Star. She is in the building. Sign up a little bit for me, Angel. Just a little background on Angel the Star. Who did you used to do background music for?
For multi-platinum artist, Music Soul Child.
Nice. Now, Music Soul Child or the rapper of Music Soul Child?
Come on, teach me.
No question on the rap.
The
R&B singer.
The R&B singer.
Yes,
Congratulations to you, Angel. Where are you from?
I'm actually from Sarasota, Florida. Whoop whoop! I'm trying to put Sarasota on the map.
Yeah, we got you.
We're like an hour away from Tampa, 2
Okay.
hours from Orlando.
Smack dab in the middle.
Right, exactly.
I think I drove through there before.
Right. And you're actually working on a new EP yourself, too,
Yes,
right?
I am. It's called The Journey. I've been taking everything that I've learned from my travels and from touring and the things that I want to talk about. Just, being a young woman in the industry, and I'm mashing it all together, so it's called The Journey.
There you go. How long you been
Love
performing,
it.
sis?
I've been performing professionally since 2008, so about roughly nine years. But I've been singing all of my life since
Okay.
I was just about to ask. So you were at home and your mom was like, just go on out there and sing, baby.
Yeah, pretty much. Everything got started back when MySpace was up and popping, and I had a few videos. Seriously, I was a college student about to transfer to Florida State, studying psychology. I was doing very, very well. But I was taking environmental science class, and I was like, oh my God, if I take another 8 o'clock class with this man, I have no idea what he's talking about. I knew that something else was calling me. It was my music. I never forget going to the computer lab as always, checking emails, and I had an email from my mom. She's also a pastor, and she was like, Angel, I just have to tell you, everybody has a start, and your start starts today. And bam, just like that, I said, I know what I have to do.
And the
So
single
did
that
you
you
get
have
that degree?
to have out now,
I was like, so
Right,
what's the moral of the story here? No, I'm just joking.
the song that you have out now is Stop the Bullying song.
Yes,
You got a movement
yes,
song.
I do, especially with everything that's going on right now. Outside of what I do musically, I go into the schools. I actually just did something very, very huge for the veterans too. I have a song called Home. I Gotta Get There, dedicated to all the veterans and their families as well. So I performed there for the veterans, and actually got a chance to talk to the state senator. We're going to be working with some things to promote more awareness about Stop the Bullying, the movement.
There you go. Well, we're going to check out that song. We should have time. We would have had more time if you would have been
Look, I'm
on
so
But Angel the Star is in the building.
sorry.
How can people keep in touch with you, Angel? Don't go nowhere, though.
Okay, the website is AngelTheStar.com. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, at Angel_the_Star. So.
Hey, when we come back, we're going to play some this or that. Dr. Flavor, you is up. Next, Angel, don't go nowhere. Hang out. It's Michael and Joy in the morning. Power 108.9. Wake up.
What if they do a collabo, girl? You better stop the bullying.
You backed up on this song on stage? I'm sure you did. Let's see what you did. What part?
Look how like her face like, oh
I still will choose you first. Oh, 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 oh.
I love when singers come here. They just,
Those are all the backgrounds.
Did you have a little dance with it?
Oh my god.
Y'all had y'all dance?
You know, I be wanting to like break it down. They be like, no, this ain't that.
Put that two-step shot and you do it too. That's
The crazy thing about music, everybody think they can sing his song. You know what I'm saying? Like you think you're at that level until you record it. And you be like, man, I was way off. I was way off.
Was that me?
I thought I had it in the car.
No.
Hold on.
I thought I had it in the car.
that shower.
Right, I was just about to say that. Everybody got it.
There's someone up here, Prince
I'm a great
Frank
comer.
said that they have a play called My Life Matters. It's about suicide, teen bullying, PTSD. So Prince, CRE, you're Angel_the_star. So check her out, Angel_the_star.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I gotta swap.
I love what y'all got up here.
Thank you.
Angel-
We gotta
Angel
get
and
you
Dr.
back
Flavor,
on a
right?
day where we can
Angel and
play.
Dr. Flavor swap.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Said Angel, Dr. Flavor.
Yeah, switch out. Angels. Switch it out the frame.
We'll do real quick. And you know I'm going to 9, right?
Yeah. You what?
I'm here to 9.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, oh, well, that's good. So what you want me to tell, old girl?
Who that?
Kim.
Oh, you doing it too, right?
Yeah. Without you, I like you.
I thought it said that you can do it too. When I read the email.
No, it was about both of us.
I thought she chumped me out. I was like, oh, what did they do you?
Oh,
That's on Instagram because mine don't look on Facebook.
Huh?
My Facebook live.
What you got, Mr. Joubert?
If you go to the I guess to the live thing.
Yeah, I got you. I'm just trying to get
A little pregnant belly.
Angel. Is that song on YouTube? Or is it on?
it's on SoundCloud. It's on my SoundCloud. It's on SoundCloud.com/angels.
Just did something I
You'll
didn't
find
know.
the Stop the Bullying.
what? Hey, Eric Jackson.
Come on, Joe.
I got you.
Mama here.
Sponsor for that.
Oh, okay. Awesome. I think people know I'm pregnant. It's not just.
Congratulations. You said
Michael and Joy in the morning. MichaelandJoy.com. Dr. Flavor's in the building with us today. Today's show is being brought to you by Brian and Joubert. L&B Tax Service in the building. We checked out that single by my man Keeyen. What that name of that single is?
Girl, I'm on the way.
Yeah, that one I'm talking about. Also, Angel's in the building with us today. Glad she can make it because we was sure about to write her off. But you know, if you miss your performance here on Michael and Joy, you are banned for 90 days.
But if you show up late, you got a second chance.
Yeah, you get a second chance. You get to come back tomorrow. You get to come back Saturday.
I was gonna say no, we'll just schedule it.
But check her out, Angel the Star. She has a new song. You can check it out on Spotify, Stop the Bullying. Today's show is being brought to you by our very own Brian Joubert, L&B Tax Service. And did you know that, a quick question, what's the first thing you think about when you jump up in the morning? Well, a new research suggests that your initial thoughts could determine how stressful of a day you're going to have. Okay. Now, topping the list of average first thoughts are, 1, the weather. The next one is a task that you may have at work. Or the third one is a health-related issues. Now, experts say waking up to thoughts of family troubles, school rush, or what's new on social media, or even your financial situation ends with many Americans not taking care of themselves in the morning by skipping breakfast, skipping exercise, or forgetting to take their vitamins or their medication. Now that is if we can even find the power to get out of the bed these days. Now how about when you wake up tomorrow, try thinking about something calming like some pretty puppies or a rainbow
or kitty cats
or a unicorn or something like that, and less about work and the weather and everything else that's going on in your life. Yeah, why not? Unicorns make
you know what I think about when I first wake up?
What is that?
I think about praying. What's the first thing that I do before my feet touch the ground? And what about you, Michael?
First thing I think about is telling Tasha, girl, I'm on the way. Shout out to
I'm about to say, well, she should be right there.
Right.
Where, if you call her and saying that, where you at?
Well, that was after I left the bathroom. And I'm telling her I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm on the way. Dr. Flavor's in the building with us. 9 different seasonings.
8. Actually, but I am working
I was
on
gonna
a
say
new
you
one.
got one that you working
I'm
on.
working on one. It's called Nola Twist.
That sounds good. Nola.
Nola Twist, yeah, because I just came back from New Orleans and I was super duper inspired. Like I said, I went to Xavier University of Louisiana, and a lot of the culinary skills that I picked up after what I learned from my mom and my grandmother was in New Orleans. So I was like, how can I make something that gives you that flavor, but it's not too salty? Because a lot of times this is too much sodium, and too much sodium can lead to hypertension, a lot of swelling, Trump was ring off his finger, and a lot of it is with the food that we eat. So I just want people to understand that you can eat healthier food that tastes amazing. If you want to be a vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, Dr. Flavor Spices is for you. Semi-vegan. And there's nothing wrong with being semi-vegan. Some days you may not want to eat meat, some days you may want to eat more meat. It's okay. It's okay.
No judgment at all. Doc, you are on the hot seat today because right now we're about to play this game with you so our listeners can know you a little better, called This or That.
Okay. With this?
Shout somebody out, Eddie. Shout somebody out. We know you want to. Hey, Michael and Joy in the morning. Dr. Flavor is on the hot seat with us today, playing a little game that we love to play called This or That, and the game is very simple.
Okay.
We knew you were coming on the show like 19 months ago, and we decided to get some questions, and we've answered the questions based off of how we think you will answer them.
You kind of feel like that, don't it, girl?
Yeah. So, now, remind us where you grew up again.
Linden, New Jersey.
And when you guys, when you were young, did your parents have the cereal on top of the refrigerator or in a pantry?
Top of the refrigerator.
They ain't had no money. That's why they were trying to make her go.
I know something.
You're going to be a doctor, Dr. Flavor.
We're going to figure this out.
It's kind of like your baby going #1 in the draft. You going to play some basketball. We need you.
You're going to take care of this family. You're going to break the cycle.
You play basketball. You tall.
I want to dance. That was awesome. So that's how the game works.
Okay.
It's a contest between Joy and I to see who knows you best.
Okay.
And right now, I think Joy is in the lead 13-7.
No, you don't think. You know.
Yes, and congratulations. Today is an anniversary of Power 108.9 and Michael and Joy. Today is our 30th show. Yes, congratulations. Our 30th show at Power 108.9. And Brian has been here for 27 of the 30, it seems like. It's always on time. All right, Doc. So you wake up in the morning, Doc. You got 2 boxes of cereal on the table, okay? One is Frosted Flakes. The other is Captain Crunch. Which one are you choosing?
Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes. So that's one. Cheetos or Cheese Puffs?
Cheese Puffs.
Cheese Puffs. 2, Michael. 1, Joy. Mexican or Italian? And we're talking food, not men.
I would say Italian.
Italian? Okay, so that's 2.
Real
2.
Italian.
Real Italian.
Like
Okay.
Jersey Italian.
How about this one? Lemon pepper wings or hot wings?
Lemon pepper.
Shit, I was going to go with lemon pepper wings. 3-2 is the score. McDonald's fries or Chick-fil-A fries?
McDonald's.
McDonald's, we both had you down for Chick-fil-A because you're a doctor. Like, we bougie doctor, Chick-fil-A.
They're too big and sometimes they're not cooked all the way.
Okay. Get that.
We're just gonna let that go.
Get that Chick-fil-A. That Chick-fil-A sauce, though. Hey, back on that Weight Watch, you know that Chick-fil-A sauce 5 points, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We know you know, cause you back on it.
Back on it. Cruise vacation or destination vacation?
Destination.
Destination. Okay, we both got that one. So it's 4-3. Joy is still in the lead. Vegas or Miami? Come on, Doc.
Neither. I can't take the smoke. Miami.
5-3. The score is 5-3. All right, here go a real hood Jersey question for you. Since y'all had y'all refrigerator, y'all food on top of the refrigerator, especially y'all cereal. You should know this one. Grape Kool-Aid or red Kool-Aid?
Red.
Red Kool-Aid. Okay, bet. So right now the score is 6-4.
Okay.
You are leading. Joy is leading right now.
Okay.
But this last question, this is the bonus question.
Okay.
And because we are celebrating the birth of one Joan Collins, the bonus question is going to be worth 85 points today. So this could put me in the game, okay?
Okay.
So, you just had grand opening for your store. You're putting it out there to release your 8th or
Ninth.
ninth seasoning.
Whoop whoop.
You inspired thousands and
Yes.
millions, and everybody's good. And after the event, you don't feel like driving home, right?
Okay.
So we use the trusty house phone over here, but the house phone only got 3 telephone numbers inside of it, and that means you can only call one of these 3 people to drive you home.
Okay.
So who is driving you home after the grand opening? Is it former Mayor Bill Campbell, former Mayor Kasim Reed, or former Mayor Andrew Young? Who are you calling for the win to drive you home?
Andrew Young.
Andrew Young. It's all
Hey, Esther in the
good.
house.
Doc, how can we check out your flavors?
You can check out our flavors on Instagram, Facebook, and our website is www.drflava.spices.com.
There you go. Congratulations
All right,
to you.
thank
Hey
you,
guys,
guys.
if you catch us in the street, we got some flavors out there we're going to be handing out in the
Uh-oh,
street.
just a little
Yeah.
sprinkle though.
I ain't got but one. Yeah, I ain't got but one.
You got a couple.
Let them shout out real quick before we get up out of here. What's that single?
Girl,
Girl on the way.
Girl, I'm on the way. I gotta get this.
Girl.
Yo, check me out on social media at Keeyen Martin, KeeyenMartin.
There you
I
go.
need
That's
one of
what I'm
them
talking
coats.
about. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
No,
And Miss
for real.
Angel the Star, tell us what you got going on, sis.
Yes, okay, so you can prepare for my upcoming EP called The Journey, and everything else you can go on AngelStar.com. Twitter, Instagram, that is at Angel_Star.
And like always, before we get out of here today, we got to thank our guy, Brian Joubert, L&B Tax Service. Best advice that you can give our family in the studio today and the people that are listening across the universe.
The world.
Well, actually, since we have entertainers in the studio, one thing I tell my entertainers is you are a business. You are a business. A lot of times they don't want to see they separate the two, but you are the business, you are the brand, and you have to treat it as such. So same way you handle other people's business, you support their business, support yourself the same way, market yourself, brand yourself, and make sure that you represent yourself accordingly. And that's how you win in the game.
That's what I'm talking about. Brian Joubert, you got a client appreciation?
Yeah, this Saturday, this weekend though, and primarily the cookout. That's where everybody want to know. The cookout be off the chain.
Cookout.
So Sunday at Cohen Park in Atlanta, we're going to be doing the 18th annual client appreciation cookout. Man, we show our people love. But if you listening, come on out, come meet me, meet the staff, come get some. We're going to do the Louisiana boil. We got the shrimp, crawfish, turkey necks, corn.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're doing it then. The grill,
Yeah.
man, is, this grill, man, it's off the chain. It's semi-vegan chicken.
Nice.
Oh, man, it's semi-vegan mac and cheese.
I just feel like I just gained like 10 pounds just listening to
But
that.
that's how we
It's
show
a lot.
love, though. That's how you stay around for 21 years, though. You give back to your clients. You show appreciation. And so
Amen.
we'll be out there this weekend. A suite on Friday, the comedy show on Saturday, and then the cookout on Sunday.
That's what I'm talking about. L&B
Whoop,
Tax Service, thank
Yes,
you
sir.
for always supporting us, Michael and Joy, Mr. Brian and Joubert. But you guys can check them out. LNBTaxService.com is the website. And don't forget, check them out on social media. Rich Boy, J-O-P.
No, J.
No,
U-
J-
P.
up.
Rich
Oh, you
Boy
said
with
J
an I.
up. Oh,
J
you
up.
confused me. Yeah, that one right there.
Rich Boy J
Or for
up
this and
one.
more information, just go to michaelandjoy.com. You'll find them. Hey, shout out to Kayla. Kayla was arrested about 2:30 a.m. on Saturday by Moses Lake Police. That's up in Washington State. The 19-year-old was a passenger in a car that officers had pulled over last week. Now, the driver, Giovanni Powell, who's 27, was arrested for driving with a suspended license, right? So, all of a sudden, things changed after that. The officer had no legal reason to detain Kayla, so they were unable to lock her up, so they let her leave the scene. Now, while searching the vehicle, however, detectives found a purse containing her ID, along with a small pistol, heroin, and paperwork from her last time that she was released from jail. She's a convicted felon and is ineligible for possessing a firearm. Well, according to police, just like the young folks do all the time, Kayla went on the police department's Facebook page and bragged about getting away, which they believe, the police say, is the #1 killer of criminals, karma. That is karma. Not karma. So after setting up a meeting with Kayla through social media. Officers were able to arrest her and lock her up because she wanted to brag on their page on social media.
She clearly a millennial.
Clearly.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna tell you one thing. If I get let go, I'm going straight to the house.
Right, exactly.
We
Hey,
disown her.
they disown her. Hey, tomorrow is Thursday. Hey, if you in Georgia, stay dry out there. And if you miss any of today's show, you could go to michaelandjoy.com or Power 108.9 and check us out. Hey, before we get out of here, we gotta hear that single one more time.
I'm on the way.
Keeyen Martin. Girl, I'm on the way. It's Michael and Joy in the morning. Wake up.
It is
It is girl, right?
Oh
yeah.
Girl!
Alright, what's up, man? What up, Cole Parker?
This one.
What's up, brother Joe?
Because I knew you were coming. I know that you were
Terrence
just
Small, what's happening,
after.
brother?
And I was like, oh, this will be great.
morning.
They both say.
Alright, make sure y'all have a register. Make sure y'all register.
Hey, love, period. Hey, Rochelle.
Your face too.
Gotta go. You guys have an amazing day.
You can drop shit right on.
You gonna get him?
Yeah.
Peace out. From the top of my head to the soles of my feet, I ask that God watch over you, protect you, expand your territory, and your capacity. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. God. Just open it like a phone. I mean, like a hair clamp.
Oh. So I can do some more videos.
So you stay right over here because we're going to take some pictures right over here.
And we're gonna get you to sign a glass.
Oh, okay.
Do that once. Let me get out the way.
You gonna do the video for me?
Yeah, where your phone at?
Huh?
Where your phone at?
Oh, and I'll take a picture too.
G. Williams, what's happening?
Are you?
Can you
are you busy
in that
this
for me?
evening? There's
Here,
a
we're
show.
still